we go. Let's start recording one more video. Hi guys. I'm back. I'm Geni. For those who don't remember anymore, I don't know if it's a little noisy. It's because my fans turned on, and it's pretty hot here in Brazil. And today I'm gonna talk about my experience with that thing of like, oh, I wanna speak like a native, and my English learning process started when I was 5 years old. My grandmother, she used to teach me how to count from 1 to 20 when I was 5 years old. And that was the first time, my first contact with the English language, and then I just loved it and I just kept having this contact, which was amazing. But 7 years ago, I really decided to study English real hard. And my goal at that time was like, I want to learn. I just don't want to learn how to speak in English. I want to speak in English like a native. I want to learn how to speak in English like a native. Because I really wanted to live abroad. Like I wanted to leave Brazil. I wanted to live in USA, Canada, USA mainly. And I had a friend. She shared this dream of mine, and it was simply amazing. I practiced real hard, but it's not like I wasn't struggling. I was kind of like acquiring the language in a natural way, like through movies, music. All of those advice that we repeat over and over. You guys already know. And it was in a, it is actually a amazing experience. Because the English language, I love the English language like from the bottom of my heart, like from the deepest part of my soul. So it's amazing. But there was a time that I was so obsessed with this dream of mine, speaking English like a native, that I had a kind of impeachment. I don't know if this is the right expression for this thing, but it's like a block. I've never been shy. I always love to speak to people in English, like to talk to people in English. And I mean, if I find a Brazilian here, we both know how to speak Portuguese, but if I notice that he knows or she knows how to speak in English, I'd rather be speaking English with her, with them, instead of Portuguese. So that's how much I love how much I love speaking English. But there was this time that I was so obsessed with this thing of speaking like a native that I had a block. Like I could not speak to anyone, to anyone, to anyone, because I was so worried about my mistakes, about like passing as a native, that I was judging myself all the time. With every single word that I was saying there, I was like, oh my gosh, is this okay? A native speaker would say it like that. I don't think the pronunciation is very good here. And that was awful because I felt like I could not improve my English anymore. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give up. I don't want to learn English anymore because I cannot do this. I'll never be native. And of course, I'll never be native because I wasn't born there. So that's obvious. But at that time, I was like, I really wanted to be a native, but I guess I can't reach my goal now, and I just have to give up. And like the time passed, like a week, a month, I don't remember actually. And I noticed that I was suffering with this a lot, like pretty much. I used to be sad all the time when I was listening to something in English, someone, any native speaker speaking English. I was like, okay, I'm never be as good as I can hear now. And it was a pretty tough time for me, like in a learning process, like in English learning process. And but then I noticed that this has to stop. I needed to change my mindset, because 7 years ago I decided to learn English. I decided what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to learn. So why should I give up right now? I mean, this is my dream, isn't it? So why should I give up now because of this little detail? Like, oh, you're not speaking like a native. You're not a native. So what? That doesn't mean you cannot speak English very well. And then I noticed that I needed to change my mindset. But how? We already know what's happening in our lives, but we don't know what to do to change it. We know the problem, we see the problem, we identify the problem, but we don't know what to do about it. And then I was, sleeping on it for a long time. Then I found out that actually the process of learning a new language, it's not something that you should put like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to, I'm gonna speak fluently any language that I'm learning right now in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year, 2 years, whatever. This is not good, because if we stop to think about it, the we the learning a new language is a lifetime process. Until the day you die, you're gonna be learning something new. You're gonna be speaking that language, especially your native language. So why should we get so hasty? Why do we want to speak some to learn a language perfectly in so little time? In so little time, really, for real. Like, I want to speak perfectly a new language in 6 months, a year. Why? And then I started to think about this second fact, that like, if we think about the children doesn't learn how to speak their native language in 6 months, like fluently, perfectly. They take years. Literally, they take years. We can barely understand them when they're learning its language, or their language. So why, if a kid who can easily learn like 100 times better than us, they can learn the language 1 billion thousand times faster than us, and and more perfect, like better, and you get the gist. Why should we be so hasty? Why should we, I don't know, cut to the chase? Like, reduce the time that we should take to learn a new language. So, with this mindset, I'm working on this mindset even nowadays. Every time that I'm trying to learn a new language, right now I'm trying to learn French. Yeah, I started learning French. But I know that I'm gonna take time, and I don't need to be hasty, because I know it's gonna take time. I know that won't be perfect in this first moment of the learning and of the process. And about the thing of speaking like native, I don't need to be so crazy about it, because we are not native English speakers. Doesn't matter how perfect your English is. That doesn't make you a native. So you could just like, nowadays I just focus on the learning process, like learning a new word, a new phrase, every day. And of course working on my pronunciation, because like that video that Jesus shared us, I don't like to speak a foreign language with my native language pronunciation. I like to work hard on my pronunciation of the words, in French especially, in Spanish, even though Spanish is just like Portuguese, like they're similar, but I like to speak Spanish with a Spanish accent, not with a Portuguese accent. So, I'm not, with this mindset, I'm not crazy about it, like passing as a native. I don't need to pass as a native. Of course, people can think, you sound like a native. That makes me happy when I listen to this. Oh, you sound like a native. That's good, because that means that my pronunciation is really good. I worked hard and I can see the results. But it doesn't mean I have to be so obsessed about it. So that's me and my story as passing as a native speaker. Yes, I used to do that. I never had this identity crisis like it was shown in the video, but it was a tough moment in my life. But nowadays I'm just chill. Well, that's it, guys. And yeah, see you guys later.